What is going on, Creative Beast enthusiasts? This is episode 4 of Creative Beast, and we got Ross with us and David. Of course, everybody knows who David is. What is going on tonight, y'all? We have a lot of cool things going on, a lot of stuff that we have to show off to y'all in this episode, and a really cool thing that we're going to have coming up pretty soon is we actually are going to be at Joe Fest. David, when is Joe Fest?
Joe Fest is June 21st through the 23rd, I believe. So we'll be out there in Augusta, Georgia, and we're not doing a lot of shows this year, but that's one of the ones we're doing, so that'll be really cool.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to all that. So if you guys get a chance in Augusta, Georgia, we'll be out in Georgia. I'm going to say Georgia, make it super easy for me. So you guys come out there if you get a chance. There's a lot of cool things going on, and we'll have all the dinosaurs from the Beast of the Mesozoic with us. On that note, we see you guys coming in. Let us know if you have any questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. We're going to try to answer as many comments as we can and go through this whole list while we go over everything we have to show off. So it's been awesome beginning of the year, and we already have figures coming in. Oh, we got this one. So everybody's probably seen the McFarlane 1/18th or 1/12th scale Spawn with Todd McFarlane. So we have someone asking us, when are we getting a 1/18 scale David Silva figure?
with bare feet.
With bare feet.
That is not on the schedule so far. I think I have to be doing this another 10 or 20 years before we get to
that. Did you see that release with all the accessories that it came with, Dave?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I'm not sure if I like that better than the one that came out back in the 90s from the Spawn movie. There was a Todd the Bum figure back then.
Huh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Is it cool?
I mean, I don't own it, but it's all right.
I do like this new figure simply because of the fact that one of the hands has a pencil or a stylus in it, and that's not a hand that ever comes with an action figure.
Yeah.
Did you guys buy that?
No.
Did we
It
buy
was
that?
kind of cool that he did his original interpretation of Spawn as an action figure. I think that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably not gonna. I've been trying to cherry pick a lot lately, trying to narrow down what I buy. So I really like looking at things lately, but the space is an issue at this point.
I was going to say with all of this, well, that's the problem I'm having now too. It's the real estate. Everything's getting encroached on, and now I'm finding new stuff and building new shelves. And I'm about to have to get a glass shelf like you guys and make something cool in here.
That's because, Chris, you keep buying people's lots of figures. You buy 10 at a time on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, and you're just like, I'll take them all off your hands.
Dude, I'm about to do the 5-finger discount at David's place to get the rest of the kaijus. We got a bunch of questions coming in, and if you guys if we don't see your questions, make sure that you guys repost it. We'll try to go through these. We have one for this is actually a really relevant question too.
Yeah. We're still aiming for the end of April on that. I mean, it's possible it could get pushed. We never know what's going to happen, but the test shots are done. The paint samples will be finished pretty soon, within the next few weeks, and the packaging is going to get started pretty soon. So we're moving along, but it kind of depends on what happens in between now and April. But we are still aiming for end of April. It could be May, but I'm saying end of April right now.
So we'll likely have them for Joe Fest to sell.
Oh,
that's the goal. I want to have the Utah Raptors and the Aquilabators at Joe Fest. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by then we should have some test shots for Cyberzoic by then. So
that'll be cool.
Pretty cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm super excited for.
Some less fragile prototypes,
Oh man, I hate moving those prototypes. I mean, just having them here in the studio is stressful because if anything shakes, it's just, it's catastrophic.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
I was about to say with Ross Breakit, it's funny because Nutty, the kid that's doing pictures for us, he's doing a great job for a lot of the video stuff and things that we're posting. And
Mhm.
he actually said he wanted to steal the Carnotaurus from Cyberzoic. And I
Yeah.
go, well, you better get to it before Ross breaks it.
Yeah, I think that's not gonna be much fun to play with. It looks nice in photos, but it's not moving.
Oh man! Oh, here's another good one. And
These
let me.
Carnotaurus. That let me think. I have Gabriel working on that. It's on his list of projects. I can't remember if that's the next one. That might be the next one that he's doing actually, because he just no wait, he's doing Dilophosaurus. Gabriel's doing. He's working on Dilophosaurus right now. After that, he'll do Carnotaurus. He just finished Stegosaurus, which I haven't shown yet, and then of course I've shown the Allosaurus. But yeah, we've been talking for over a year now about him doing the package art for these, so he's pretty excited about it.
That's so cool. Yeah. Speaking of package art, is that something that we want to show off, or we want to wait a little bit to do that?
Oh yeah, the package art.
Let's see it.
Want to see it?
You gonna show it already? Okay.
let's jump into this.
Okay, let's jump into it. Yeah, let's go. We have a new package art first look for the Arctic Dragon by Raul Ramos.
Ooh, look at that.
This is close to being finished, but it's not quite finished yet. But as you can see, it's gonna be pretty amazing.
Man,
Yeah,
it was so crazy because we were watching Dune because we're getting prepared to go see it tomorrow, and I saw my emails, and I'm horrible at looking at my emails and getting notifications for them. So 2 hours later, I'm sitting on the couch, and I go, "What is this?" And Lauren's like freaking out, like, "What is wrong with you?" And it's the dragon. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. I love what he did. I feel like he really captured like how majestic this character is supposed to be, and he's essentially Totoro and Godzilla in one. So like for people that are familiar with those references, that's pretty much what he is.
Man, so
the framing and the pose lends itself to making it feel like an intelligent creature. You know, it's there's a lot of storytelling in it, and this really looks awesome.
Yeah, and of course we worked together on the action figure, and he sculpted the action figures, so I felt like he was a good fit to do the package art because he knew it so well at this point. He nailed it. It's just really, really cool. And he says it's not done, but I mean, I'd be happy with it like this. But I guess he wants to work on it a little bit more. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to argue.
No, it's so cool.
Yeah.
My question to you is always, what gave you the idea for this? What references did you use to create this dragon?
This, I mean, like I've gone into before, it started as the Ice Dragon from McFarlane back in the day, and just kind of evolved from there. But I don't remember looking at references. I think I was just kind of sketching an idea for basically a snow dragon, like something that would survive in a cold environment, and then just kind of kept building from there. It wasn't until later that I started noticing like it kind of has features like a griffin, like it has kind of a bird beak, but it's also kind of scaly, but then it has like these feathery things, and it's just, and then the tail eventually became more like an alligator. So what it ended up being was it represents wildlife. It represents life. It's not supposed to be a specific type of animal. Like it kind of is an amalgam of all the animals all at once. And I think that positions it well within the story because it's so in tune with nature, and it plays an essential role in the balance of nature.
That's awesome. Yeah. Every time I see this, I get so excited. It blows me away. And this is one that I saw for the first time at PowerCon the first time, actually the first time I met Ross, the first time I got to hang out with David and Ross. And this prototype is the one that blew me away. And I realized, oh my gosh, this is something special. It's so cool. And in person, to see it in person, it will absolutely blow your mind too. So I can't wait to get those out. And this guy will be out in November, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah, we just finished the fine cut for it, so they'll be tooling it any time now.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we actually went back and forth for a while about the neck articulation because obviously this type of neck is very complicated. I mean, it's almost like a horse neck, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's so thick and it's kind of angled downward, but we try to figure out how it could still move around with like some parts being soft and some parts being harder, and I think we came to a pretty good place with the neck design. The rest of it was pretty straightforward. I should have sent you a picture of this, but the tail articulation, it has. I sent you that, right on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of those things I forgot to show everybody, but the tail articulation has been greatly improved. It's like SH Monster Arts level at this point. There's a bunch of different segments now, so the tail can get more natural bends to it.
So it's not just like the tip. I know. Remember they added the section.
Yeah,
to the tip
Well,
after more.
Yeah. So
Cool.
after I saw that, I was like, why don't I just push them to put more joints in the tail? And that's what I did. And now it's like it has like a natural curve to it. That's something that it just slipped my mind to show. But yeah, maybe next week I'll post that.
Yeah, I was looking to see if I had him in my email, but I don't think I can find him fast enough.
It should be in your Instagram if there's a way for you to pull that.
Actually, yes. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. I'll send it to
There's
myself.
been so much going on. I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, man. Speaking of which, I like this comment a lot.
So Fukang Long is essentially the man-made version of Arctic Dragon. It was the Tech Clan's attempt at creating a monster that could kill Karakami, but it didn't work. They considered it a failure, and they basically tossed it out, assuming it was dead, and it ended up hatching, and that ends up being a key part of the Fire Clan's origins, which I don't want to spoil anything, but as far as which one's stronger, we'll just have to wait and see, because let's just say that Fukang Long has beef with pretty much everybody. so that'll be interesting.
See, yeah, that's the next one that made me laugh pretty hard. Is this? I don't know if you want to say anything about this or not.
Yeah, he's an enhanced clone. Let's say the Tech Clan weren't able to replicate him exactly, and they also were trying to improve his scales, like his hide, into this rock texture. See, on Gaia 2, they have living rocks, and they tried to combine his DNA with these rocks that eventually become really hard and pretty much impenetrable. But the problem ended up being that the rocks never stopped growing, and in order to continue to be able to move, he has to be on fire all the time, basically, so that the scales are constantly burning off. So Karakami or Fukang Long is basically on fire all the time, and he's sort of like an abomination clone of Karakami.
There's also an element of it, like on Gaia 2, some things that we consider inorganic on Earth on Gaia 2 are organic, like those rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's a concept still going on in the story, right?
Right. Yeah. So the idea that is that Gaia 2 is full of life, like many different forms of life. Uh, the rocks and pretty much everything, the plants, obviously, but only a portion of that we have on Earth. Like we don't have that level of life on Earth. So they have like all these different species that we don't have here, as far as like rocks and minerals and things like that. Like we would consider them lifeless, but over there they actually have life force.
There was a question a little while back that I thought was a good one. Someone was asking if we could explain test shot, tooling, fine.
Oh, there it is. There's the tail.
Yep, I got it.
Wow.
Man, sorry about the wait, you guys. So yeah, I don't know if you want me to zoom in on which one.
Yeah, so that's the final version of the tail.
Cool.
That's so crazy. I mean, oh, sorry.
No, I'm just gonna say. I mean, it's gonna take up the same amount of space in the tooling. I mean, it might be slightly more expensive for assembly, but I don't think it'll matter much.
Yeah,
it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it's gonna be worth it. It's so cool.
Yeah,
man. Let's see. I'm gonna go through this the comments. Sorry, I got caught up with the pictures finding it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here's a good one too. Why we're talking about this.
The Stratosaurus isn't being worked on at the moment. We have a base for it. Roll has a base that Roll is going to sculpt it, but it's not a priority at the moment. So we probably won't get to that until probably later this year. But that will likely be for Cyberzoic 2.
Nice. And then this one, because I know a lot of people ask me this too when in the videos.
Yeah. So that's more of an aesthetic choice. The reason that I think it works well for this design is because it has all these like thick, heavy scales, and the joints are like more or less hidden. But with the dinosaurs, you either have like little tiny scales that are almost not visible from a distance, or you have feathers. And when you cut it up a lot, I personally feel like it gets ugly looking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, maybe not everyone feels that way, but I try to not put too many cuts into the figures. I mean, just essential cuts, just so I don't break up the sculpt too much. But with the dragons, I feel like we have a little bit more leeway with doing things like this, because we can basically design the scales at that point. We can design the overall shape, so we have a lot more freedom with hiding the joints at that point.
Man, that's gonna be so cool. I cannot wait. I love the picture of the whole tail together right here, because it just shows you how well it articulates. Oh, I just need a bendy wire.
This one doesn't need one though.
No, it wouldn't work. This tail is way too thick for a bendy wire. You have to have a thin tail for that.
Yeah, man, I love that so much. I love how great it looks too. That alligator type of style at the tip of it is my new favorite thing.
Yeah, and again, if like we did an alligator, it would make sense because there's so many vertical lines. I mean, I could cut it up like that.
Well, it's like the one that came out of, I think, Bandai, the gator that they did. That thing's segmented to heck. Like there's like 20 segments just in the torso, and then it's crazy.
Yeah. That was really nice. One thing that you do also run into, one of the drawbacks of having this many pieces, is that it can kind of fall apart easily. It's like a little less sturdy, so you also have to be careful about that too, especially if the tail's held up off the ground. Like if it's up in the air, you don't want pieces falling off too much. So
yeah.
But this one rests on the ground, so again, it's like it works well for this particular design.
I think this is a good question because we're talking about design.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the question I was mentioning earlier.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
did we already hit the topic?
No. We jumped to something else because we,
I like how
we had an ADHD moment.
There's many of them. You can
All
look at
over
me.
the place there.
You can't even see my face.
So the way that it works is once the sculpt is finalized, I send the factory the final parts, which is just to inform where I want the joints to be and the final sculpt details. And they recreate all the parts as a fine cut in resin, like you see here. This is a hard resin that they paint gray. But what they do at that stage is they engineer the joints. Like they'll create the ball joints and make things fit. And that's where we start designing the articulation to a greater degree than what we do here on our side. Like they're problem solving the articulation at that point. Once the fine cut's completed, I approve it, and then they create the molds based directly off those pieces that they have. And then once the molds are done, then they will inject the molds with the plastic and create the test shots. The test shots are like basically a test for the articulation, for the parts fitting together, the details, all these things. It's like a first pass of testing out the molds, and that's where we can kind of troubleshoot any issues as far as like the tightness of the joints, or if any details are missing, things like that. And then once the test shot's approved, they can move on with the paint samples. And once the paint samples are approved, then we can just do like regular production and hope that the final paint versions look like the paint samples. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole process.
Yeah. And how long does it take from when they get the figure to having it ready to be produced? How long is that? How long is the time frame?
Depending on how much back and forth there is, it could take anywhere from 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like some figures are pretty straightforward, and you don't really have to give too many notes throughout the process. And then other ones are like, we're just like sometimes just having to problem solve back and forth for several weeks to get things where I want it to be. So yeah, I mean, 6 to 8 months is pretty normal.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I had a bigger team here managing projects, I mean, we could probably go faster. Obviously, like larger companies go faster than that. But we are what we are. So.
Well, and the factory's been dealing with this guy, the Arctic Dragon, like holiday included, like 5 months now, right?
Wow.
So,
yeah, because we had the first version of the fine cut. I think we showed during the Kickstarter back in October.
mhm.
So I mean, I've been going back and forth with them for some time now with the tail and the neck, and the rest of it was fairly straightforward. But yeah, those two things I was really trying to get them to come up with the best solution in both cases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's like a big thing too. People are always asking about the T-Rex thing. David and I actually talked about that a little bit today. So that'd be something that'd be like a future plan. But I love the Arctic Dragon. I really can't wait to see the articulation with the tail and the neck. So did they do all the retooling there at this factory to get the neck to work?
Well, it wasn't tooled. I mean, it was they were adjusting the fine cut. So there's no metal tooling at this stage. It's just they're working in the resin at this stage, and they can get an approximation of the range in the resin, but it's always going to be a larger range when it's injected in plastic, obviously, because the plastic has some give to it, and we can work with different softnesses with the plastic. So so that's always something we have to consider when we're looking at the range of motion in the hard resin.
That's so cool. I cannot wait for that. I'm so excited for the dragon. We also have another thing David's been working on and just got ready to or shipped off. Do you want to show that, David? Because we're talking about the articulation.
Yeah.
Kind of switching subjects on you guys. So this, I was so excited for.
Come on already.
I don't know what I'm doing here. So yeah, so this is Stegosaurus. So yeah, David, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah. So after like 2 years of working on this, I finally finished it.
Has it been that long?
Huh?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, man. It's like I originally thought this was going to get into the first Cyberzoic Kickstarter, and then there was like all these other things that I had to be doing, and it just wasn't a priority after a certain point, and I didn't want to rush it. So I just kind of worked on it whenever I could, and that's how long it took because there's just a lot going on now. And basically, I can put in hours late at night and eventually get it done. That's what I did. And the reason why I don't have pictures of like the final version stacked together is every time I put it together, I'd mess up the details. So I was just thinking, you know what, I'm gonna detail every piece and then have it molded. Then I'll build it together once I'm done. But I had it stacked up enough to where I was pretty happy with like the way it looked with the proportions and the movement and everything. And yeah, it's just like in this material, this castelline, like when you're moving parts around or just plugging them in, it just messes up detail over and over again. Just have to resculpt. But yeah, so that's the only picture I have of the final sculpt. I just wanted to kind of have a record of all the parts, and then later we're gonna add like disc joints and barbell joints and things like that. Obviously, things will be, you know, plugged in. But yeah, this is the first step, and well, the next step is to get the resin parts, which I should have in another week or so, and then I get to build it and paint it and all that fun stuff. So
that'll be so. When you get the resin parts back, are you able to put the joints in there, such as like the swivels and the barbells?
No, like it's just like pinned together and glued. You know, like that stuff is engineered in China later. I don't need to deal with all that.
Yeah.
Even if I attempted it, they would still change it. So
yeah.
So
it's crazy.
So yeah, I mean there's certain tasks that are just inefficient for me to do, and adding articulation like that just doesn't make any sense at this stage. Man, I just need to indicate where the joints will be, and I can direct them as far as what type of articulation I want them to add, but it's best to just leave it to them because they're going to do their thing with it.
And when is the Stegosaurus going to be available?
If it's possible to put it out by the end of the year, I will. I don't want to make any promises because it kind of depends on some other projects that are also going right now. Like I recently showed a prototype for the Beast of Mesozoic, Allosaurus, and the Carnotaurus. We have Smilodon coming up. We have
the Dilophosaurus,
Deinonychus. So we have a lot of things that we could put out this year. I just have to figure out where everything goes. Still kind of catching up with all the Cyberzoic stuff. And like that's the priority right now is like making sure that we get Cyberzoic taken care of. And once I feel comfortable with that, then I can start figuring out where everything else goes.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. I don't know how you keep up with all this because even though I'm already confused. So much.
Yeah. Did you see that? It looks like JP's hanging out with us. He was in the chat.
Oh, was he?
Minutes ago, yeah.
Oh,
oh yeah.
All right.
There he is. This guy.
There he is. Rockstar life.
Man, waiting for some Mortal Kombat comments.
Once we have the Rockstar life, we'll definitely talk about how it feels.
There's another one in here. I'm gonna actually quit presenting that so I can pull up some other stuff for you guys. But this one,
the prototypes for the Chasmosaur babies.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else that Ross has been working on.
Yeah, I did the Chasmosaur babies.
Okay, it is a Chasmosaur baby. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
is this the same thing?
I was worried you were about to say something. You weren't supposed to.
Certain things we can't talk about. Yeah.
Don't talk about that. Don't do it.
No, don't do it, Chris.
Let me
Don't
get
do
on.
it. Stop yourself.
Do you guys want to know some secrets about Cyberzoic?
So yeah, the Chasmosaur babies. I'll probably start putting those together within the next few weeks. I just got some printed heads, and I just gotta pop them on some bodies. So
man,
obviously there's not a lot of surface area on those, so they should go fairly quickly as far as paint.
they're so cool too.
This reminds me, there was a question about why there's horns on the head compared to the adult, which doesn't have horns. I mean, it has like sort of like brow horns, but not really, like more like brow coverings. Like on the Chasmosaur belly, that particular species has not, as far as I know, not been found with horns. The other species, which I forget the name of it, does have horns. But anyway, this particular species has a fossil for a young juvenile. And well, hey, it's Spino Dude. What's up, man? And on that fossil, you can see like little nubs on just above the brow. So I'm not sure. Like I haven't read much about this, to be honest, but my assumption is that it was some sort of defense at the young age when they're more susceptible to being eaten, and maybe it just becomes like a keratin covering over the brow eventually. I'm not sure, but it was in the fossil, and it was labeled as Chasmosaurus belli, which is the species. So that's what we followed.
Man, this is so cool. I remember when Ross was telling me that him and David talked about doing this, and he was starting to design like the layout for it. I was getting so excited. I was like, "Oh man, this is so cool! I just want to play with them. They're neat."
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because the body of this, like Dave, you sculpted it all in wax. So
Yeah.
I just had a blow dryer and was decapitating, mine so that I could take measurements of it and photograph it so I could block out, a body digitally so that make sure it matched up. So for a couple of weeks, I had, a couple decapitated baby Stegosaurus. Oh, I had a Chris moment on my desk. Working on this guy, but
it's interesting, the process for this, like how you had to recreate the body because it was physical.
I probably didn't have to, but I wanted to make sure I had like as close reference everything in front of me as possible. The
Packy Rhino babies, I think that'd be really cool to do as well.
I really want those.
I think that would be after the Triceratops babies. I think that's probably like the next most wanted one. But we have to do Triceratops after this. I mean, it just has to happen. So,
are we talking about Triceratopsians or the Triceratops?
Triceratops.
Get out of here, Chris. Get out of here.
Yeah. Triceratopsians only exist in Chris Chaotic World.
So we're doing the Triceratops. Is that the last one we'll do for the baby forms, or are we going to do all the Ceratopsians?
No, we want to do all the Ceratopsians, but just a select few. I'm not looking to make a complete line of babies, because at some point we might want to do Tyrannosaur babies. So
shut up.
That could be cool. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I mean, why not? We already have it juvenile.
Mattel already did a baby T-Rex, so now we need to put out the real baby T-Rex.
I don't think I'm following what Mattel does too much.
Oh, speaking of talking about what others are doing, this one made me laugh.
Zabu, Smilodon. Actually, Ross and I have discussed this a little bit. I guess where I land on it is it's a fun cartoon version of Smilodon. It looks like it'd be fun to play with, but us being so familiar now with feline anatomy, it's obvious what's different for the sake of making the joints work. But it's based on comics, so there's a lot more stylization that is appropriate for something like that.
Mhm.
I pre-ordered the whole wave.
Yeah,
And, I'm okay with it not being, like we have our versions going to be coming out, and then it's just the next comic book version. There's a little stylish.
It looks cool for what it is. I didn't feel like I needed it. I actually have the Zabu that came out, I think 2008. It was in the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con pack with the other two Savage figures. I forget what their names were, but basically it was a retooled version of the Sigma 6 Tiger. It had like a new head and a new tail.
That's cool.
It's probably worth money now, but I'm not selling it.
Speaking of the Hasbro animals, somebody was mentioning pork belly. Manny, is that you?
That's him.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah, we just pre-ordered that today, all three of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, the G.I. Joe stuff's insane. I'm starting to lose track of what I have on pre-order at this point. They keep putting out new stuff.
Yeah.
It's really the only modern line that I'm trying to follow at this point. I think everything else I'm just kind of like very cherry picking if I buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the classic or the classifieds, that's solid stuff. It's really cool. And
Well, the animals.
Yeah. Now they're putting animals in there. It's making it even harder to pass up. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know who's sculpting some of these animals because some of them are really, really good.
Well, I think Fred sculpted the recent Rottweiler that came out. Yeah, Fred. I believe Fred did that, and then I did pork belly.
The animals in the classified line, they keep getting better and better.
Man, it's the only reason why I buy. I'm not gonna buy a dude. I'm gonna buy an animal.
That's right, because you grew up at a time when G.I. Joe was like at a low point in the 90s.
I don't think I had.
You had G.I. Joe Extreme.
Dude, I had nothing I had Transformers, Beast Wars. Actually, I think like all the 90s stuff was like animal based. Pretty sure, like monsters.
Yeah, because the 90s had a lot of influence from the Ninja Turtles. I mean, it wasn't just that. I mean, you had Jurassic Park, you had Terminator, you had Batman animated series, but you also had like your Street Sharks and your Biker Mice from Mars, and like to a lesser extent the Road Rovers. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
What were the Road? Was it the dogs?
No idea what that is.
Yeah, it was dogs. I mean, you had
I like slightly remember that.
You had Tiger Sharks. I could go on and on. What was another one? Battletoads.
Battletoads. That was a cool one.
Yeah, there's so many anthropomorphic animal teams back then because everybody's trying to get a piece of that Ninja Turtle pie.
Man, see, every time I think back, I think of all the cool stuff. There's so many cool things. Literally, some of my favorite toys in here are from back then. That's the next thing we need to talk about is acquisitions. But before we get too off topic,
you want to take some more questions?
Oh, yeah. I saw this one, and you'll never know. You can't go back and watch it.
Please go over any reveals I might have missed. Well, let's see. We only revealed the artwork for the Arctic Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So
in the new segmented tail.
In the new segmented tail.
Oh, and Stegosaurus.
Well, I've shown Stegosaurus before. That was just the first time I announced that it's finished. Yeah. It's really going to be special once I have something put together.
Yeah.
And that's
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. Especially with rundown of what we went over. Yeah.
I can't wait to look at it compared to where it was at before, with all the Frankensteining that you had to do to adjust the proportions,
For what?
What's the Stegosaurus.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. There's a lot that has to be done sometimes. Like when you're sculpting by hand, like if you stack it all together and it doesn't look right, you have to kind of cut it all up and fix it.
What,
So
if something doesn't work, do you physically have to cut up the Stegosaurus and make it so it looks and fits right?
Yeah. Well, there was like what he's referring to is there was a point where I wasn't happy with the overall proportions, so I actually did cut
in half.
I cut it 4
quarters,
different
right?
ways. So I cut it vertically and horizontally, and then I took material out in some places and I added material in other places, and I just kind of put it back together and had to resculpt all the details again.
So how many Stegosauruses have you sculpted?
Like 1.5.
Enough.
Wait, you never did a Stegosaurus model kit?
No. It's the first time that I've ever approached that, and I actually took it on because it scared me. I was very intimidated to do that one, but I also was tired of doing stuff that I felt was easy. Like I did like the Diablosaurus babies. I did the juvenile T-Rex and some other stuff here and there, but I wanted a big, satisfying challenge, and that's why I decided to do the Stegosaurus. It was not the most efficient method of getting it done, but sometimes I need to stay motivated by doing projects like that. It's more of a mental thing.
The therapy, yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of therapy, like, to kind of balance the day-to-day task, because I'm on the computer so much now, like responding to emails and posting on social media and like photo editing and sending notes to China. Like, there's all these things that they're super necessary, but at my core, that's not what I really like to do the most. Like it's all a means to an end. I mean, I'm happy to do it, but when I'm sitting over at the sculpting desk and just unplugging from the rest of the world, I mean, that's really the best time for me. So even if it takes 2 years to sculpt a Stegosaurus and I could have had someone else do it in 2 months, I still feel like it was the right way to go.
Yeah. And it's so cool.
Go ahead. And now you finally cleared your sculpting desk for that next exciting project.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to sculpt the dragon. It'll be the first time I sculpted a dragon since I was at McFarland. So,
so excited.
Well, a dragon action figure. I mean, I sculpted the model kits, but this is like the first time that I'll be going back to doing a dragon action figure, which is exciting because when I was there, I always wanted to put a bunch of articulation in, but that wasn't what we did. So they were basically cut up statues, which is fine. They look cool, but I always wanted to do more with them. So now, so many years later, I finally have a chance to do that for myself. So
you think you're going to go straight into it or take some time before you get into another sculpt?
I have a few other tasks that I need to sort out, like switching out my computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that still needs to happen. We talked about that last month.
Yeah, I was going to try to fit it in before I went on my trip to Savannah, but it just wasn't enough time. So, but I have the computer all set up. It's in the kitchen. I just have to actually physically switch them out now. So,
can you go grab it and show it to us?
The computer?
I want to see I still haven't seen it. You still haven't sent any pictures.
It looks like yours.
No, it's
put a dinosaur inside of it.
Water everywhere.
There's no point showing it to you.
Ross, it's cooler than your computer.
I don't know. Mine's pretty sweet. Literally,
we were going over the parts, and we were like, you know what? This is a present. And Dave started adding all the cool stuff. It has a squirt gun, so if you get mad at someone, you can press the button, it shoots water.
Yeah, from the water cooling system.
Yeah, it's so cool. Oh, okay.
Now you need to add the glow-in-the-dark dinos on the inside of it.
Dude, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should put like a little light strip in there, like a black light strip, and then you should have it so when you have it on, they all just glow.
I've been trying to track down the glow-in-the-dark NECA alien for a while for a good price, so I can stick it inside of my computer.
Oh yeah,
it's like lime green and glow in the dark, and like it's got inside the computer looks like a place where a xenomorph might be with all the wires and hardware.
That's so cool.
I think they also did the glow in the dark face huggers too, if I remember.
It comes with it, yeah.
because why not? So
Yeah, there was that one time. Actually, the last time me and you were in Savannah together, Dave. That's the last time I saw the glow in the dark one, and they had it for a good price. But I was looking at it, but like the neck tubes were broken or something.
oh
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, I don't even know what those go for. I never got that one. It's just like,
Mhm.
what is it? You know, why is it glow in the dark? I don't know.
See, I love the glow in the dark stuff, and it's funny because Knox, he's such a little turd. He'll come in here, and the set of 3 from PowerCon, they will disappear every weekend, and so I have to go on like little Easter egg hunts. And I'll find him. I found one in the fridge the other day next to the cheese sticks.
That makes sense to me. I used to put my Transformers in the freezer sometimes.
Whatever you're eating, just
No. See, I used to like to put them in water in like a plastic cup or something, and I just freeze them in the water. So like you pull them out, and your Transformers inside of a block of ice. There's just something cool about that to me. I don't know why, but
it's like
were you doing that before the 2007 movie? You know, coming up.
Oh
with
yeah,
the idea
this is back in the '80s when I was a kid. I mean, I was just trying to put them wherever I could. You know?
And you didn't like the Batman Forever with Dr. Freeze?
Dr. Freeze?
Is that who it is? Mr. Freeze.
Mr.
Freeze. Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know, I was super excited about that movie when they were, you know, advertising it. And then they killed the franchise for a while, and you know,
I forgot about that.
that was that.
See, that I think was when I first started. No, the Penguin one was the first Batman movie I saw.
Oh, Batman Returns.
Man, that was so cool to me. That Penguin car, I wanted one of those so bad.
Really, the duck?
Yeah, man, and it was like the toy, and it came out. Yeah, it freaked me out. I loved it. See, I got this one. I forgot what happened to the Andrew Sarkis, so I'm gonna. When is that? When can we see
Andrew Sarkis? That's one that we do have a prototype built for it. We just haven't painted it yet. And again, it's one of those that I'm trying to figure out where it goes. We're still making it for sure. There's no doubt. But we're going to have a Beast of the Cenozoic version and a Cyberzoic version. So I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to fit in. I might try to release it along with the Beast of the Cenozoic Smilodon.
Oh yeah,
which will have 2 scales. You know, have the 1/18 and the 1/12. So that's just more stuff I have to figure out. Obviously, I want to be real careful not to overcommit to too much stuff at once, because all this stuff takes a lot of time to do, and it's also very expensive to make everything. So, you know, like just saying, yeah, we're going to do this then and that then, and you know, obviously, you know, it's hard to even predict when things can come out. I mean, we try to get as close as we can, but a lot of times things get delayed for whatever reason. So I also want to be careful about that too. But it's all going to go somewhere. It's all coming out, and once I know where, then I'll show it off, and I have the pre-order and all that. So I'm just trying to proceed at a manageable pace right now, because we just funded so many things with Cyberzoic, and to me that's the most important part, because people have committed, you know, to buying those, and so that has to be the priority.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I don't think, well, I don't want to say I don't think, but there's so much going on. There's so much that David does 24/7. It's like he was saying earlier, he's got to take care of all the emails and stuff. And it's insane how much he has to do to keep this going. And so I really appreciate seeing comments like this, because David takes care of all this stuff. So it's cool that he was able to finish the Stegosaurus, because that's a huge project to undertake while he's doing everything else, making sure all the figures are right. And then you guys saw the articulation and everything else with the Arctic Dragon. So that's stuff he has to do and manage all these other people. And then he has to deal with all the chaos over here, and then Ross over there. And Ross is the crazy. So yeah.
I'm really happy to do it. I mean, it's just because it's not easy doesn't mean I'm not happy to do it. I mean, it's just a great opportunity to be able to put this out there in the world, and I'm really, you know, I'm just really grateful that people follow it and support it. I mean, it's just, I can't ask for more. So and And to this comment, thank you. I appreciate that. The customer service is something that I feel like is really important. I mean, as a collector myself, I understand, if something needs to be, fixed, or if there's an issue, it needs to be dealt with, and I try to stay on top of that as best I can for people.
Nice. Oh, here's one. Honestly, if you guys have questions, feel free to type them in here. Well, we're going through them. We can't answer everything.
Yeah, we're gonna miss a few for sure. We're gonna miss most of them probably, but
I'm like, I like that one and that one.
Yeah, the best place to ask questions is just contact me through my website, creative-beast.com. I'm pretty good about getting back to everybody, even if it's not like super quick. I'll put a star by it in my email because I know I need to get back to that, and that's how I kind of organize everything. So,
well, this just made me laugh so hard. Listen, no one knows about this. So I have a story for you guys. So Ross and I are in New Jersey, and we're hanging out with Dave.
I wish this was true.
Do you guys know this is true? We're playing Mortal Kombat, and Dave cheats at Mortal Kombat, by the way. But so he's kicking our butts. He picks the Terminator, and out of nowhere, we're like, "Hey, Dave, do a fatality." Because I don't even know how to do a fatality. He sits with the controller, looks at it, he goes, it does a fatality, blows us up. We're done. He wins.
Yeah. That was the first time I just accidentally did a fatality in Mortal Kombat 11. There's always, that I'm not good at fatalities. You know who is good at fatalities?
Who?
Manny.
Uh-huh.
Who? No one even likes to play with Manny. Who is he?
I know, he's too good.
He's so good, man. That's like I literally, anytime it's because Lauren right now is playing a lot of games, and I see her, and I'm like, man, I need to start practicing. I need to get my fighting skills in because there's Gundam. We have all these other fighting ones.
You need to retire Gundam, by the way.
You retired it?
No, you need to retire.
That's the only one I can win at. That's just my game.
Hang up. That's from your childhood. You should have been better.
Big burn brow. Oh man, I'm a little hurt. No,
it's all right. You should start over again with something else.
Oh, I'm just gonna pick up the newest Mortal Kombat 1. Have you started playing that?
Yeah. Manny brought it over one time. It was a lot of fun. I'm surprised how similar it is to Part 11. I mean, outside of the cameos, it's pretty similar. But it's also very cool. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, it's great that they're adding all these new characters, and they have a bunch of characters from the like the PlayStation games and things like that, which is really neat. The Van Damme skin is awesome, but I'm super happy just playing Part 11. I'm still figuring out those characters, so that's fine with me.
Russ, we're gonna learn Mortal Kombat 11.
I'm just a button masher, so there's no hope for me.
A button masher, yes.
There's no hope for me. I just hit random buttons, and I hope that coincidentally I will win.
See, I sit there. My thought is in my head every time, like I'm sitting next to Dave and we're playing these games. Like I can physically beat him up. I'm just gonna do that. I don't have to play video games.
Yeah, but you don't have special moves.
No, I don't have robot legs, man. Oh no. What? Oh, you know what? We haven't even gone over yet. We haven't even gone over acquisitions.
That's right. We got to show off what we got recently. Yeah.
Here, Ross, you want to go first?
I think you put me first, so I don't have a choice here.
Actually, I messed up the slides, so you don't have to go first.
I don't care. I'll go first, or I can go last or middle. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
one of the three. Yeah. So, last stream, Blue Eyes came up because we were talking about our favorite toys from childhood, and I went to MegaCon Orlando the start of this month, and I saw I just saw one of these at the show, and it was the last one. And my friend was like, "Ross, you need it." And I was like, I don't know, it's a little bit more expensive than it was on Big Bad. I don't really need it. And he ended up peer pressuring me into just getting it right then and there. So I spent a little bit more than I wanted to on it, but I had it in hand, and I unboxed it that night, and it instantly took me back to childhood. I felt like it was just like the evolved version of the one that I had in, like, I don't know, 2004. 20 years later, and just re-sparked old memories. It's a super awesome figure. And something I found out that was really cool is the Yu-Gi-Oh line for SH Monster Arts is sculpted in wax. They're not digital sculpts, and I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, because a lot of the Monster Arts figures and Bandai, like, they don't really reveal any information on the process.
Yeah.
But one of their employees on the American side of things was talking on a stream about some of the figures, and this one was brought up, and found out that it was sculpted in wax. And I thought that was kind of neat.
That is neat. That's pretty cool. Going back to what you said about paying a little bit more at the show, I think that's justified because it's almost like you're buying a memory of the experience. It's not special when you buy it off of eBay. Like, you just want to get the best price at that point. But if you're in a place and you buy something there, you're always going to see that and remember that moment, that time. And I love buying stuff when I go to a place and I can associate it with that moment. I think it's like an added value to that piece. I mean, I can look at my collection and remember what was going on at that time in my life, and like it's more than just plastic figures. It's like, oh yeah, that's when we first moved to New Jersey, or that's when I first got my job over here. This when I just started this company, like it is sort of like you always kind of tie the toys to moments, I think, and when you can buy them in a place, I think that's even better.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like Toys R Us, and like those were the best days. Like, that's what I like to do now, is try to hunt for figures, because it's I never thought about that with shows though, because what's funny is one of my favorite figures, it's this green dino dragon guy over there, but it was the same thing. And it's funny you said it, because I didn't want to pay for it because you had to buy the bundle, so it's 2 figures you had to buy. And I was like, man, no, I'm gonna save and see what I get. And then Dave actually got it for me. And I was like, holy crap, it's favorite figure. I'm so happy I have it. And that's so funny that you say that, because it's so true. The memories with the figures that are associated with it is so fun.
Yeah, and it was funny because the vendors, they were like, hey, if you buy it, then you pay for two nerds dinners tonight.
Well, that's also a cool part of it too, is like you're basically supporting other collectors and other individuals, and that are into this sort of thing, which I think is nice. Like, we're just kind of helping each other out in that way, as opposed to like you could save $5 or $10 buying it from some random person. But yeah, I think that's cool. Like, I would have done the same thing if I saw something I liked and it was just a little bit more.
Man, yeah, that kind of changed my perspective too, because I'm the type of person where I love to barter, and so now I'm like, man, I never thought about that, Dave. That's cool.
Oh no, I'll still do that. I'll
barter.
Yeah, I will definitely, like, I will usually like find like 2 or 3 things. I was like, hey, can you make me a deal? Like that sort of thing. But if it's just one thing, I probably wouldn't. Like, I'd be like, unless I felt like it was overpriced, I probably wouldn't try to haggle.
Oh yeah. Oh, we have this question. This would probably be a good one to just hit on again before we continue.
Oh yeah, that's right. He got here late. Yeah.
Where was he?
Yeah, we just announced Joe Fest. Sorry. So we're doing Joe Fest in June, which is the 21st through, I want to say it's the 22nd. No, 23rd. I think it's 3 days. Yeah. 21st through the 23rd, and that's in Augusta, Georgia. Open the haggling. If you come on Sunday, yeah.
But you have to fight for it.
Yeah. I might actually bring some Beast Mesozoic with damaged packaging and sell those at a discount, because that's not something that I could sell through the website. I mean, I guess I could, but it requires like like all separate listing. That's kind of
For
a
the
hassle.
same product. Yeah.
But yeah, I might bring some because there's some stuff from the warehouse that has like a bunch of damaged outer box, but the inside's still fine. So I might have some of those at the show.
Oh yeah, and we could also use them to open them up and have them on display too.
Yeah. I like the display stuff too. I mean, we could sell the displays on Sunday too for less money. So,
I love it.
As long as Chris doesn't decide he needs them.
Well, Chris has everything now. Chris, with
That's
the
right, 'cause he's doing all the
I
videos.
don't have enough.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's slacking now.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make some videos.
Yeah. Well, listen.
I'll just mimic Chris's energy. I'll put my hair in a mohawk and I'll say cool 300 times.
I'd like to see it. That would be so funny to see Ross as Chris Chaotic in a video.
He'll be dude. If he's coming here, and when is it? May, June, whenever for the
May. It's May.
Awesome.
Yeah.
May.
We actually it's fine to talk about that too. Ross and Chris are going to be at Comic Palooza representing Beast of the Mesozoic.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone's in the Houston area, you can come out to see them. So
we're gonna flip flop names though. So Ross will be Chris Chaotic, and I'll be Ross. So I'm gonna stand like this the whole time.
And I'm gonna get a couple sets of inflatable arms.
Oh, we're gonna have to get an inflatable Dave because he's not even gonna be there at this.
Yeah, I'll send you a standee or something.
Would
You seriously should get one and have it going like this or like hold it up. Oh, that'd be cool. Then people can take pictures with it, and then we could do something fun with it. I was gonna say that I can keep it in here. That's really weird.
Oh, that would be weird. Yeah,
that would be hilarious. We need to look into this.
Might be a bad idea.
Oh, we went to a movie, and I can't remember what movie it was. I think it was Indiana Jones, and we got to bring home the cardboard cutout for it. And it was it Indiana Jones? I don't remember. But you'd put it behind doors, and it would freak you out every single time you saw it. Yeah.
Once we make a Sandy of Dave, you need to put it behind your desk. So anytime you get distracted, you see Dave just staring over you.
He's so great. I'll just be like,
get back to work.
My 5 seconds of work and 20 minutes of Instagram. Jeez.
Yeah.
Stupid Instagram. Let's see. What's the next one in here, by the way?
The next one, yeah.
I gotta see how many comments come through. All right, cool. We're good.
I love how Ross took his own photos of everything and he put the logo. The logo's actually on there anyway. Okay. I thought Ross put the logos on his pictures too. I was like, wow, you really created this pretty well. I just took off the internet. Pictures.
You want to know what's really funny is I kept grabbing the screen for StreamYard, trying to pull it down and move it, trying to move over. I think we're all on the same page today.
Man. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's great.
This was more stuff from MegaCon. The first place I bought stuff, actually, I walk in and there's like this 3 or 4 tables connected, and it's all Godzilla stuff. And I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I know, a lot of you guys out there are kaiju fans too. I mean, we're all Godzilla fans. But he had like everything, and I needed some more Godzilla stuff.
Of course.
So, especially with the new movie coming up this next month. So he had Mechagodzilla. He negotiated down a price, and I looked at Rodan and Mothra, and I said, "What would you do for all 3?" And he gave me a good price. I was like, "Okay, I'll take them." And what was really cool, you were just talking about like buying things in a memory and experience. This guy had a pet monkey like at the show with him in like a little like, I don't know, like those pop up, not container, but like I don't know, like a pop up playpen at the convention for this monkey. Yeah, it literally was. And the monkey was like, its face was like the size of a quarter. So I was looking at this thing, and it's like this weirdly human face that's like this big, and it's staring back at me, and it was weird. And then I'm buying like, a couple $100 worth of Godzilla stuff. It's just something I'll never forget.
That's experience.
Yeah. So
that is different.
Yeah. I have pretty much all the Haya aliens. I dig those a lot. And then I think the Haya Rodan is the best Rodan on the market. I ended up getting the NECA Mothra because I think the paint looks much better on that. And then, Monster Arts Mechagodzilla. But I like a lot of stuff Haya is doing.
Hey, Nutty's on. What's up, man?
Something nutty. Sorry, cut you off, Ross. Keep going.
Oh, no, you're good. I was rambling, but yeah, I like what High is doing, and I'll be getting their Ghidorah when it comes out in America. Probably, hopefully this next month.
Yeah, man, that's the one. We got
Yeah.
I think I have one more for you.
Oh yeah, this is the last one. I recently picked up Sandman, and I ended up repainting him because he was all like one solid color with some like spray shadows. So I repainted him up, and I think he looks a lot better.
It looks
He
like
doesn't kind of reflect like shiny in this, but he's definitely matte in person. He looks really cool. But
That's cool.
nice.
yeah.
So I gotta stop for a second so I can switch over to the cool stuff too. All right, Dave, you're up. You're up, Dave.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Yeah, with your internet photos.
Yeah, I wasn't wasting time taking real photos. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I guess without a smartphone, it takes you time.
That's true. I have a real camera. So
prove it. Just kidding.
so I have a real camera. I do. So if anybody follows me at all, you know that I don't really get into the Jurassic World stuff very much. But I recently was visiting Savannah, Georgia, and they have a cool toy shop there called Planet Fun. Shout out to them. They had this Amargasaurus there, and I love Amargasaurus. It's my favorite sauropod, and there's not that many action figures of it. And I didn't know that this was a thing, so they had a $60 price tag on it. I was like, it's a lot. And I had to look it up, and apparently it's rare, so it was a decent price. So I picked this guy up. He's pretty cool. I have a feeling I'm not going to like it as much after we do ours, but for now, it's a pretty cool thing. And I have the Amarga Spino from the 90s, when they were doing like the hybrid dinosaurs, and so I have those two next to each other now.
Oh,
And,
the hybrids.
Yeah. The was it Chaos Effect? I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those were some really cool looking color schemes. I mean, they're crazy, but there's something very 90s about them. It's kind of fun. It kind of reminds me of my Air Jordans.
Yeah, dude, freaking this one. I didn't even know about this one. These
Oh,
guys
yeah,
are
the Wizard magazines. I got these. I got a big lot of them off of eBay recently. I kind of was feeling a bit nostalgic about 90s comics. So this guy had a pretty good price for a big lot of them. I was like, yeah, I would like to go back and see what was in those, because when I was a kid, I would get them here and there, but I didn't have anywhere near all of them. So there's a bunch that I missed. So it's kind of cool to like pick these up every once in a while and see what was going on in the comics industry. At that time, I wanted to be in the comics industry. I wanted to draw comics. I went to college to draw comics, and I was super into like Image and things like that. Marvel to some degree, but mostly Image and DC. I think at this time we had like the death and the reign of Superman, and Nightfall Batman was a thing, and those were my two favorite storylines back then. So and then Spawn was a big deal for me too. So yeah, it's kind of cool to go back and flip through and see what was going on back then, and yeah, it was a pretty good purchase. So I'm happy with that.
Wizard magazine, it's like just comic book news and interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Exclusives.
Yeah. That's the same company that eventually did Toy Fair magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, after you told me about these, I had to look them up. I was like, what is this madness?
Yeah, it was a fun time for comics.
Oh, I have to answer this one. I just saw this one. Favorite Monster Hunter monster? Oh my gosh, easily Shaggy Magala. Okay, we're good. What happened? Got excited. This guy.
Yeah. Okay. I forget the name of this one, but
blue crab.
It's a blue crab. It's a coconut crab, actually. Yeah. Oh, I still have them over here.
Sure.
Oh yeah, hold them up. Yeah.
This was it. I saw this on Instagram. Someone had this on Instagram, and he was moving it around. I thought it was a real crab, and it's so articulated. Like even this piece out here like kind of curls up and down. And a while back when I first started doing these dinosaur toys, I had an idea to like do oversized arthropods, like insects and crustaceans and things like that. And because they look like they have joints, I mean, it's easy to hide the joints if they look like they have joints anyway. And Japan's just knocking out of the park right now with this stuff, so I don't feel like I need to touch it. So
with this, they just scanned a real specimen.
Did they?
And just added joints. Yeah.
What?
Why not? I mean, nature sculpted it, so why not? Yeah.
Wait, so did they rip it apart and scan the parts? Because they're perfect.
I have no idea. I'm just know that it was like scanned from a real specimen, and then they just engineered it from there.
Wow.
Because it's already pre-segmented pretty much. You just add in the actual physical joints.
Yeah, it's definitely a way to do it. Yeah.
I love those creatures. This guy made me laugh.
And then this little guy, if anybody is familiar with GoBots, you probably recognize this one. It's one of the more common ones that I just never got. And they had this in Savannah recently, also at Planet Fun. And he was in really good shape. So I just picked him up. I have him here in front of me.
Green.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's super simple, but it's just a fun little design, and the chrome is real nice on it too, which is good. So
how many more GoBots do you need to get them all?
It's like
there's way too many. There's like I have no clue. There were a bunch that were only released in Japan that go for tons of money now, and I probably won't ever get those. Yeah, but the cool thing about GoBots is that they have kind of their own style. Like you're not going to confuse them with Transformers. I think they, they aren't as complicated or detailed in a lot of cases, but they have a certain charm to them. So it's been fun picking them up here and there.
Do any of them combine into like a super GoBot, or they're all just little,
Yeah. Actually, I got one off eBay a few months ago called Puzzler, which is it's like 6 cars or 7 cars. I think it's 6 cars. And you combine them into like a big robot. I think there were 3 combiners altogether, because there was the Puzzler, which is the car robots, and then there was another one that turned into monsters. I forget what he was called. But then there's a super rare one there from the Rock Lords line that transforms into some sort of T-Rex. And if you find that, it's going to cost a lot of money. But
that's cool.
There, as far as I know, there were 3 combiners, and then they also had these combining suits, like these mech suits that you could fit random GoBots inside of, and then those suits would fit together into a big robot too. So yeah, they did some weird and interesting stuff. It's not anywhere near as popular as Transformers, but once you go down that rabbit hole, it's kind of fun.
There's so many cool transforming figures. That's fun.
Yeah. Back in the 80s, like there were also a bunch of like really low end transforming robots, like converters and things like that. That were like even cheaper than GoBots. Yes, it's kind of fun. I see that stuff pop up on my eBay feed all the time. It's a lot of fun. I
get it.
I'm almost tempted to get all of the transforming robots from the 80s just for fun, but there's no space. That's like that's gonna
get another apartment
section.
Yeah, you just gotta get another studio, a bigger studio, Dave.
Eventually, maybe. We'll see. Might be fun.
That's so fun. Let's see. All right, my turn. I gotta show you guys what I got. I'm gonna show you a picture from the interwebs because Ross takes too much effort to take photos. But
let's see which of the
and you can't see him, he's up there, and I got him, and I was blown away by this figure. So SH Monster Heart has like a hit or miss for me because their figures are so cool, but some of them just, I feel they're not, for how the price point on them, it's just not worth what you're getting. They're hollow, this and that. But this guy, Oh my gosh, I lost my mind. And mine came with a loose head. I guess the insert in the back of the skull that is connected to the barbell was loose, so the glue didn't hold it. So I had to refix it, do all this stuff to it, but it works really well. So this guy, I lost my mind for. He's so cool. And then Dave has the Robotech one, which I'm going to try to steal in the next year when we go see him again.
Robotech.
Oh, do what?
Oh, you mean Reveltech?
Reveltech, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also got this guy. So this guy is super sick. Look, he's a purple dragon dude.
Blue.
He's blue.
He's a pink purple dragon dude. He's
Where's
so
the
cool.
purple?
He's got purple.
It's got the flame on the sword is purple.
It's like 90%. No.
Okay.
He's like a billion times cooler than the GoBot. No.
You don't know. You weren't there.
You weren't there. Oh my gosh.
What,
Yeah,
and
man.
you got leatherback. I got you that leatherback earlier in the month.
Dude, was that a month ago?
That was this month.
Okay, I gotta show you guys this one too because let me go over here to my creature corner.
I went on an adventure to track down Chris a leatherback for a good price.
So this is a funny story too because this guy, so Dave has all these, and this is my absolute favorite kaiju besides Hardship, but I never wanted to get him because he's super expensive. You guys can see him. And you can't like find him. And so Ross went into like the craziest part of town and found this guy in box for $50. So yeah, he's nuts. I ended up playing with him so much his arms are loose now. It's so stupid. But these guys are crazy. So, and if you guys don't know, Dave actually didn't work on this one, but all these other kaiju from Pacific Rim he sculpted, which is nuts.
Yeah. They didn't have me work on it until Series 3 when they knew that it was going to be successful because all that stuff was being done in China up until Series 3, and they weren't really investing a lot of money into it, but it was selling really well. And then eventually we brought it in-house, and then that's when I was kind of taking it over, and I was designing the Jaegers and sculpting the kaiju.
That's so
that
crazy.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we need to have another Pacific Rim that's like the first Pacific Rim.
I like the second one. Okay, everybody trashes on that second one. I think it's a fun movie.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Someone had to like it.
Yeah. So it's a blockbuster. It's cool. It's explosive. But the first one, you see them put on the suits, you see them in the mech, and you see it moving with their body movements. The second one, they're just going super fast, and it's just weird. It's like it's not even Gundam. It's I don't even know how to explain it. But the
second one's anime, and the first one's anime inspired. You know.
Yes.
I saw the second one on my birthday when it came out, and I think it was around the same time that all the Toys R Us closed down. It was a very sad time.
That's such an depressing story.
Yeah. It was a bad birthday.
Oh man. Hey Ross, this is for you.
Yeah, get out of here. That's the Reddit trend going on. The last few months or whatever, there's a big Reddit trend. Anytime somebody mentions Pacific Rim 2, they're like, "What? They never came out with the second one. What are you talking about?" And everyone plays like it doesn't exist. But that movie's fun.
How do you feel about the cartoon on Netflix? You ever watch that?
I loved it. I
liked the first season. The second season, I feel like it fell off. But I think I accidentally interrupted you, Chris. Go on.
Oh no, you're good. I was reading this one. It made me laugh really hard. I started talking
at the same time. And actually, fun fact: the COVID situation when everything closed down, and that was around my birthday too. So,
oh yeah, because your birthday's next month.
Yeah. So like both times, like bad things happen in March.
369.
Uh-oh. Well, let's hope this next March this coming March is good.
No, I'm sure there's been plenty of good things that happened in March too. I just don't remember.
Your birthday? You guys, in March, we got David Silva. You're welcome. That's crazy. Yeah, dude. I love Pacific. I can't even talk it. Pacific Rim. I love Pacific Rim. Almost as much as anyways, but that's the thing. Like, I want to make another movie, and I keep seeing all these things that they're going to make another movie, but nothing's happening.
Yeah, there was a rumor at some point that Del Toro was going to come back for another one.
Mm-hmm.
I think you sent me that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now they're like, who knows what they're gonna do because the movie industry is going so wanky right now.
Yeah, it's weird right now. Yeah.
If it's the thing that Chris sent you, I was making fun of Chris. That's just the most clickbaity garbage article or video.
You don't even know, bro.
There's nothing to it.
There's
Just
a lot of
some random
clickbait
dude talking.
nowadays.
I'm gonna start. Listen, I only send you guys 1/5 of the things I want to send you guys. Now you guys are gonna get spammed.
Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Half the things Chris sends me, I'm like, that's fake. What are you doing? And he's like, stop ruining things for me.
Well, let me live a little bit. Oh yeah. Well, we are actually an hour and 20 minutes into this, so I think we should spend like the next 10 minutes wrapping it up and answering.
We'll wrap it up. Yeah, let's take a few more questions and then we'll peace out.
Oh, here, what does this say? It was confirmed. Decepticon. Oh, I don't even know what that is. Oh, here's a good one. I love this question because I love Spinosaurus.
We answer this question
about it every
time. There will be a Spinosaurus, but not anytime soon. So, yeah, the Spinosaurus, in case you missed some of the other live streams, it's planned to be with Cyberzoic 3. So we'll get to it, and hopefully they won't have to change it again anytime soon. So.
You know what's going to be funny is it finally is going to be done. It's going to have an awesome sculpt. We're going to be ready for it, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, it actually didn't have legs; it had flippers." Oh man, yeah, that's exactly what he said too. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we'll wait for it. Yeah.
Yep. And then we got this one. I love the Dryptosaurus and the Utyrannus because they're giant. I'm like looking at the toy.
I've actually been looking at doing a Megaraptor. I think I mentioned in the last live stream that I wanted to do a Megaraptor for Cyberzoic, and I'm looking into it right now. I think it's something that we'll get to. Mayap, is that how we say it? Mayap. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, I'm familiar with that one. It's a bit bigger, but I mean, all of it would be really cool to do. It's just a matter of putting it somewhere.
Well, I didn't even know how big the Megaraptors were because I didn't realize how big raptors were. I didn't realize they were the size of turkeys.
These aren't actually like the raptors. They're not really related to Dromaeosaurus.
Oh, okay. So it's a bigger, cooler species.
Yeah, it's more. I think it's more similar to an Allosaurus than a Dromaeosaurus. It's an interesting family.
Megaraptor just sounds cool.
It does sound cool. It's a cool name. That's why I want to do one because it has a cool name.
I love it.
One of the coolest names of a dinosaur that I haven't done yet is Dynamo Terror.
Dynamo Terror? How do you even
pull it up, Chris?
Oh, I'm on it. Monterror. Is that the giant, like, how do you even spell it? Dino Monteri?
Dynamo Terror. It's a type of Tyrannosaur. I almost made it into the Tyrannosaur series, but there's not much fossil information for it. That's why I decided not to do it yet.
I can't even pull this thing up. Dynamo Terror.
Dynamo Terror.
Dynamo Terror.
I think
or dinosaur. Yeah, nothing's coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm spelling it wrong in my head.
Oh, Dynamo Terror. Okay, no, I'm just not very smart.
Okay.
We knew that.
Ross, I can't wait for you to come in town. Let's see. Okay, let me pull this bad boy up. I think this is it. This is a cool picture. Dynamo Terror. Man, I hope this is like an actual.
It's a cool name. I think that would be a popular thing if we could put one out with a name like that.
Yeah, man.
If I remember correctly, there's hardly any fossil evidence for it. It's just a cool name.
I think this is it. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll pull up another picture. But this says this is a Dino Monterror.
Dino Monterror?
Yeah, like it's Dynamo Monterror.
Okay.
Which one are we supposed to be looking at?
This
the meat eater.
That guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to find ones that have lips for Ross because he'll yell at me.
Oh yeah, we have to have lips on that.
Have to have the lips.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that's the only picture on here that's even close to anything.
Oh, I feel like I've seen other interpretations, but anyway.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's another dinosaur that we're not working on.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Oh, hey, they spelled it right here. Thank you.
That's what I said.
I didn't hear you, Dave. Speak louder. Oh man, sorry you guys. Man, here.
Yeah.
Can you guys do this one?
Maposaurus. That's a big one. That's a Carchodontosaur. That one. I mean, it's possible it shares parts with the Giganotosaurus. But we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So, but that's a cool one. It's a big meat eater.
Oh, I gotta pull that up. Hold on.
But as soon as we do that, someone's gonna want more herbivores.
Oh, this one is super cool too. All right, you guys, I'll share a picture. Hold on. Maposaurus. Make it big.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Oh, okay. It looks kind of similar to the Giganotosaurus.
Yeah, it's related to that. Yeah, it's very similar.
Do we have a Giganotosaurus?
No, I think that's going to be in Cyberzoic 3 to face off against the Spinosaurus.
Wait, so when are we doing Spinosaurus?
I
almost went for it. I almost baited him. Oh, man.
I think someone needs to ask that every live stream.
Dude, I'm just going to start throwing it in every unboxing video. Hey, guys, when are we doing a Spinosaurus?
We just got Spinosaurus.
Oh, man.
I'm going to build so much anticipation for this.
Dude, seriously. And it's funny because, I mean, I love Spinosaurus. I'm sure you guys really like him, too.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fit right now.
No, and that's the thing. And it's going to be when we do it, whenever it's out in like the next 5 years or so, and we finally have it, then we're going to be like, it's going to be a different dinosaur. I promise. It's going to be so weird.
It might. Maybe we can do Spinosaurus throughout time and just do a bunch of different ones.
I would love that. I would have Jurassic Park Spinosaurus. I would have the real Spinosaurus.
And the vintage one would be so cool, just because it'd be so far off, and just a tail dragger and big, chunky, wrinkly skin. You know.
Yeah. Ooh, this is Ross's alley.
We talked about this. We talked about this last stream. I'm gonna make a set of longhorns and do like resin. Like
the one we have has pretty long horns, though. I mean the way that Jake sculpted it, it's like the horns are longer than most reconstructions that I've seen.
If we go full on fantasy, some Mythic Legions, horn.
It's a meat eater, man. They don't need horns.
Listen, Ross, I got to tell you something about carnivores. Carnivores don't have horns. They have claws so they can hold on to their prey. I had this conversation with David.
They have brown horn protrusions, but the reasons horns exist are for the herbivores to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why we get dragons, right? So we have like sharp teeth and horns together in one place. That's why we like dragons so much.
I think that's the only reason why I like dragons, because they have teeth and horns.
Yeah. You got to put teeth, horns, and spikes on everything. We just want all the sharp things in one place.
Man, big
block.
I
like dragons.
Yep, love dragons. Dude, they're so fun. What's so cool about them, though, is I can't wait to see your sculpt that you're going to be working on, because dragons, I love dragons. They're cool. I'm going to spoil stuff if I say anything else.
But no, I've already shown pictures.
Oh, yeah, you did. You showed the art.
Drawings. I've shown the drawings before. There was that one that I showed you, the artwork with Helena and the dragon behind her in the Gladiator Coliseum. Yeah, that was supposed to be in the Kickstarter, and again, we just didn't get to it. So
I'm trying to see if I can find that picture for everybody, and we'll start wrapping it up for all of y'all.
Talking about dragons, Chris, next stream you need to have your Arctic Dragon model kit painted and assembled.
Oh yeah.
I have the base on it right now. I'm doing the black thing where I paint everything black and work your way out. I can't remember the name of it, but that is my plan. I wanted to have it done way sooner, but it didn't happen.
Mr. Velociraptor has a question, Chris.
What?
Mr. Velociraptor has a question. Let's answer his question.
Oh, sorry.
He's asked it a few times now. Will the Tyrannosaurus Rex get updated articulation in neck and legs like Dryptosaurus? Yes, in Cyberzoic 2. Yeah, that's what we want to. We want to bring an updated T-Rex for Cyberzoic 2. Yeah,
and that'll be an all new color though too.
Yeah, it'll be all new colors. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So this is the dragon that I'm going to be sculpting, which is the Bristol dragon, and it's like a very spiny type of dragon. It's kind of cat-like in a way, but I'm also going to have some influence from like spiny lizards and turtles and things like that. So.
And in terms of size, like with the forest dragon and the Arctic dragon being large, this would be like a mid-sized dragon.
Yeah, yeah. I imagine this will be like slightly bigger than the Smilodon.
Oh, cool. But they can be rideable, right? Mountable?
Yeah, yeah. It's made to be a mount. Yeah. So I mean that's basically her mount and part of the story in the first part of the story. So
awesome.
Yeah, and this particular scenario is relevant to the very first part of the story, which we'll have in the first comic. So
I'm so excited for that comic.
Yeah. Tad and I are going to actually touch base on it tomorrow. We're very close to finalizing the actual script for it. Finally.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, our aim is to get it out to coincide with the release of the first wave of toys.
Do you have an idea of who might do the cover, or you haven't thought that far ahead yet?
I don't know. Maybe I should see if Lewis is available.
I was just about to say, if he was available, that would be pretty sick.
I mean,
he's
amazing. There's a small chance that I might squeeze in some time to do a variant cover myself. I don't know.
That'll be sweet.
Dude, do it.
Do it.
Have some
Do it. Oh, who
that
said that?
That would be fun.
Oh, Darth Sidious. Sorry, I was ADHD. That's my new meme to send to everybody. Yeah. But I think that's good for tonight, you guys. We're at a minute part.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you want to take one more question, we can do one more question and then just close it out.
When is the Spinosaurus coming?
What's that?
I said, when is the Spinosaurus coming?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll answer that next time. Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one.
When can we expect? Oh, so there's going to be a reissue of the Cosmosaurus. I think it'll come out this year. I think we'll have it out in time for the holidays. I want to bring back the original design and the babies, plus a new color scheme around the same time, so you can kind of like have like the family. So that's something that I'm kind of working on in the background right now. So
that's awesome.
Hopefully by the end of the year. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah, there's so much coming out.
It's a little bit easier to do that one because it's it's pretty much designed already, and I would want to repaint the new color scheme, like create a new prototype for the new colors. I think the new colors would be kind of influenced by the Dino Riders Cosmosaurus, but maybe just change it up a little bit. But
do you think the babies will all three be identical, or will they be slight variations between the three?
Well,
it's like puppies.
The new Cosmosaurus color scheme will incorporate a lot of like orangish browns, and I'm thinking that the babies will be mostly orangish brown. Like the bright green seems more like a male color, like a mature male color. So maybe you see like little hints of green within the orangish browns. So that's what I'm thinking. It's probably going to be mostly orangish browns and like little hints of green for the babies.
That'd be so freaking cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. So I guess you want to close it out?
Yeah, I'll close it out. And then I'll let you have the final words, you guys. You guys, this is awesome seeing all of you all back. At one point, we had like 45 people watching. That's incredible, especially for our 4th episode. We love doing this. This is a time where David, Ross, and I get to come together and hang out with you guys, and we really enjoy answering your questions. It's a little chaotic, but we really do enjoy this. Really appreciate your support and everything we're doing. Absolutely. And couldn't be happier with the turnout. But yeah, and like I said, we are doing all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of cool things coming out. And so as always, make sure you guys give a huge thanks to Dave for all the work he's doing. He's killing it, and he's constantly killing it every single day. So make sure you guys do that.
We're we're all killing it.
I'm trying to kill you guys.
It's a team effort over here. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And all the people that do the artwork for us, like Raul and JP and Raf, and, all these guys that contribute to the work that we're doing. It's just phenomenal that we're able to do this. So we're keep doing it as long as we can. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, we appreciate you guys. Ross, did you want to say anything?
Nope, I think all is said.
Ross doesn't get to speak. I'm gonna mute him. Again, y'all, it was an absolute pleasure doing this with you guys, and thank you so much for watching. And we'll be back in a month for our next episode. Take care, you guys.
Later, guys. Thanks. See ya.